Hello, welcome to the Bible in 5 years. My name is Armando. We are reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's going to take us a few years to do so. We already been reading for a whole year. But this project podcast is for people who have never read the Bible, they don't know what the Bible says, or they are not familiar with the Bible. That's okay, man. This project podcast is for you. That's right. There's no strings attached here. We're not trying to make you go to church or any of that. Not at all. No. This project podcast is for you. You don't have to click on the like or the subscribe or any of that stuff. Not at all. Ed, but if you happen to be a Christian and then you happen to stumble upon this project podcast, don't go away. I'm going to need your help. And it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the algorithm. That's right. Let's change the music so we can do our reading of today. Day 413, the land given to Ephraim and Manasseh. Those were the sons of Joseph from Egypt, Joseph the dreamer. And it's in the book of Joshua, chapter 16. We're going to read the whole chapter and chapter 17. How about that? We don't read chapters here, I said, but they're not too long. So we got to read them. Okay, the allotment to the descendants of Joseph extended from the Jordan River near Jericho, east of the waters of Jericho, through the wilderness and into the hill country of Bethel. From Bethel, that is Luz, it ran over to Atharoth in the territory of the Archites. Then it ascended westward to the territory of the Japhelatites, as far as lower Beth Horon, then to Gezer, and on over to the Mediterranean Sea. The families of Joseph's sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, received their inheritance. The following territory was given to the families of the tribe of Ephraim as their inheritance. The eastern boundary of their inheritance began at Atharoth Adar. From there, it ran to Upper Beth Horon, then onto the Mediterranean Sea. The northern boundary began at the Mediterranean, ran east past Mikmetha, then curved eastward past Tanath Shiloh to the east of Janoah. From Janoah, it turned southward to Atharoth and Nerah, touched Jericho, and ended at the Jordan River. From Tapua, the border extended westward, following the Kana ravine to the Mediterranean Sea. This is the inheritance given to the families of the tribe of Ephraim. Ephraim was also given some towns with surrounding villages in the territory of the half tribe of Manasseh. They did not drive the Canaanites out of Gezer, however, so the people of Gezer live as slaves among the people of Ephraim to this day. The next allotment of land was given to the half tribe of Manasseh, the descendants of Joseph's older son. Gilead and Bashan on the east side of the Jordan had already been given to the family of Machir because he was a great warrior. Machir was Manasseh's oldest son and was the father of Gilead. Land on the west side of the Jordan was allotted to the remaining families within the tribe of Manasseh: Abiezer, Helek, Azriel, Zechem, Hefer, and Shemida. However, Zelophehad, son of Hefer, who was a descendant of Manasseh, Machir and Gilead had no sons. Instead, he had 5 daughters. Their names were Mala, Noah, Hagla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These women came to Eleazar, the priest, Joshua, son of Nun, and the Israelite leaders, and said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance along with the men of our tribe." So Joshua gave them an inheritance along with their uncles, as the Lord had commanded. As a result, Manasseh's inheritance came to 10 parcels of land, in addition to the land of Gilead and Bashan across the Jordan River, because the female descendants of Manasseh received an inheritance along with the male descendants. The land of Gilead was given to the rest of the male descendants of Manasseh. The boundary of the tribe of Manasseh extended from the border of Asher to Mikmetha, which is east of Shechem. Then the boundary went south from Mikmetha to the people living near the spring of Tappuah. The land surrounding Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but the town of Tappuah on the border of Manasseh's territory belonged to the tribe of Ephraim. From the spring of Tappuah to the border of Manasseh followed the northern side of the Canaan ravine to the Mediterranean Sea. Several towns in Manasseh's territory belonged to the tribe of Ephraim. The land south of the ravine belonged to Ephraim, and the land north of the ravine belonged to Manasseh, with the Mediterranean Sea forming Manasseh's western border. North of Manasseh was the territory of Asher, and to the east was the territory of Issachar. The following towns within the territory of Issachar and Asher were given to Manasseh: Beth Shan, Ibleam, Dor, that is Naphoth Dor, Endor, Tanakh, and Megiddo, with their respective villages. But the descendants of Manasseh were unable to occupy these towns. They could not drive out the Canaanites who continued to live there. Later on, however, when the Israelites became strong enough, they forced the Canaanites to work as slaves, but they did not drive them out of the land. The descendants of Joseph came to Joshua and asked, "Why have you given us only one portion of land when the Lord has given us so many people?" Joshua replied, "If the hill country of Ephraim is not large enough for you, clear out land for yourselves in the forest where the Perizzites and Rephites live." They said, "The hill country is not enough for us, and the Canaanites in the lowlands around Beth Shan and the valley of Jezreel have iron chariots. They are too strong for us." Then Joshua said to the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the descendants of Joseph, "Since you are so large and strong, you will be given more than one portion. The forest of the hill country will be yours as well. Clear as much of the land as you wish and live there. And I am sure you can drive out the Canaanites from the valleys too, even though they are strong and have iron chariots." Oy, oy, oy. All right, we have come to the end of our reading today. And I don't remember what song I had before. I think it was this one. Yeah. Okay. This is the Bible in 5 years. We're reading the Bible in chronological order, and it's gonna take us a few years to do so, and because there's more than 10,000 stories. But we're trying to keep our stories short as much as possible. The stories normally are 10 minutes or less. My explanation can go a little bit longer sometimes, but we don't have any videos surpassing 15 minutes plus. No, it's just yesterday, I think, is the first one that I went like 15 minutes and 5 seconds or something like that. But we don't, in 413 days, it's amazing. I did not surpass 15 minutes, only yesterday. So it's a great day. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so this is what we're trying to do, to keep it short as much as possible so we remember what we read. And this project podcast is for people who have never read the Bible. They don't know what the Bible says, or they're not familiar with the Bible. And it's okay. We're not going to criticize you here or judge you, not at all, because this project podcast is for you. That's right. You don't have to like or subscribe. There's no strings attached here, okay? You know, you're maybe curious about what the Bible says. You maybe have heard stories about the Bible, or comments or things about the Bible, and you're not so sure about it, that you're curious, you want to know. Well, instead of listening to the so-called experts, why don't you listen to the Bible itself? The stories that we're reading. And we already been reading 413 days of stories. So there is a lot of material there. You can go to YouTube in the Bible in 5 years, or you can go to Spotify, the Bible in 5 years, and check from day one all the way to today. So there's a lot of material there. And I don't know mention in Facebook, because Facebook, they are deleting the videos every 30 days. That's what Facebook is doing. I don't know why. They've been doing this for already almost 5 months, and that's their policy. But in Spotify, there is audio and video. So let's say if you're working or you're doing something, you're busy with your hands, but you want to listen to the podcast, you can listen on Spotify. So, or watch the video, because we have also the video. In YouTube, we only have video, and in Facebook, only videos. And in Facebook, only good for 30 days. Anyways, so that's how we're doing it, and that's what we're doing. Okay? All right. You've been informed. Now, for Christians, if you're still around, I need your help. Check the description below or above, and there's three links there that I mentioned: Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. If you be so kind to go to each one of those, let's say if you enter Facebook, the Bible in, I mean, not Facebook, YouTube, that's what I meant. You enter the Bible in 5 years in YouTube, and then you click on the like, or in the also the subscribe, the reminder, and then leave a small message. And do the same in every one of the other two platforms. This will help us greatly, because the algorithm of each platform will be triggered by this movement. Let's say 100 people do this every day, or 1,000 people a month, or whatever, just a good amount of people do this, Christians, because they want other people who have never read the Bible to be able to hear the story of the Bible. And then if you do this, any clicking, anything that has to do with it, will trigger the algorithm, and it will promote this type of content. That's right. That's how promotion happens. Through clicking, through leaving messages, through subscribing, through liking, through sharing, whatever, sharing with your friends, sharing with, if you have groups, sharing with groups, and we also have them in Spanish. And as horrible as I read it in English, I do the same in Spanish. I'm not a good reader, but I'm doing it. It seems like I'm always having throat problems, or I'm stuffy, or I'm coughing, or I am a mess. No, I'm not. But it seems like I'm always have something going on. But I'm doing it, and I'm doing the best I can. What else? If you want me to, this is for everybody. If you want me to say your greeting, leave me a thumbs up or a heart, something, and I say your greeting. Let's send a greeting quickly to Pastor Jorgito Sanchez in Mexico City, David Israel in Southern California, Andrea Sanchez, my niece, mi sobrina in, I think it's in Durango, Mexico, Reina Garcia in Tulancingo, Hidalgo, Rocket Ram in Mexico City, Mari Cruz in Mérida, Yucatán, Beto Gudinho in Costa Mesa, California, Jordan Stewart in Oregon, Juvenal Contreras in TJ, Diego Jaro in Playa del Carmen, Lupita Testa, mi prima, my cousin in Mexico City, hola, Jose Amado Ramirez in Mexico City, Charlie Gutierrez in Ecatepec, is next to Mexico City, Elena Davila in Southern California, Susie de la Riva, my aunt, mi tía in Hidalgo State, and Rocio de la Riva, also my aunt, mi tía, in Washington State. Good. What else? I better say goodbye, because I'm already up to 14 minutes and a half almost. See you tomorrow.